Okay, I just stopped that there because it's running too. That wasn't what I want, but that was Flawless Beyonce Flawless remix, and then my phone will stop being a little bitch. We can get on with what I want to do today, but god damn it. Sorry about this. My phone's being a real bitch right now, so yeah. My phone will stop being a little bitch. We can get along with this. I'm sorry. So, the last chapter, 14, I'm trying to think what happened. I don't remember what happened in chapter 14. Not entirely sure, but whatever. Let me get rid of that. I don't remember what happened in chapter 14. So, I don't know if there was a question of that video, but, let me... Oh my god, shit. My phone is not where... yeah, I don't care. Okay, chapter 15. Sorry that I'm so disoriented today. My phone is being a bitch. Come on. Thank you. Chapter 15, Trace's point of view. Trace, what are you doing? Juliet asked as I sat up and grabbed my clothes. I'm going home, I grumbled. She sat up, also began to redress. She came over and kissed me deeply. Are you okay, Trace? That wasn't like it usually is. What's on your mind? She asked, wrapping her arms around my neck. I shrugged her off and ran my hand through my hair. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. I just need to think, I mumbled, and pulling my shirt on and kissing her one more time before leaving her bedroom. I walked myself home and went to the pool house. I got out my dirt bike and my helmet. Just needed a distraction. I jumped on my dirt bike after putting my helmet on and began to ride around our house. Our neighbor, some old widow bitch, hated when I rode my dirt bike, but I just didn't give a flying fuck right now. Even during sex with my girlfriend, I had thoughts that had kept flashing to Corey. It had just been all of jealousy and anger that I wasn't making me think of him. That was all it had been. That had to be all it was. I zigzagged through the tree on the mini hill in our backyard, picking up speed, and I wanted just to ride and ride forever, never have to get off and face the feelings I was trying to get through me. I was straight. I knew I was straight. I have always liked girls. I have never had feelings for a guy in my entire life. I hated homosexuals. I thought that shit was absolutely disgusting. But my feelings for Corey were just so mixed. I hated him. I was jealous of him. But some part of me liked him. More than I should. I hated that it made me want just to hit him again. But I felt guilty for hitting him yesterday. When was this? I don't remember this. And then when I get stripped down to his boxers, ugh, I was straight. Still, the sight of him in his boxers had me thinking how good he looked, and how nice his body looked. How was I so badly wanted just to hold him forever, and nearly fell those 2 times. I was so lost in my thoughts, I barely even noticed I was about to run Corey down in the driveway. He looked like a deer caught in headlights. I swore to avoid him. Just as my dad yanked him out of the way, my dirt bike slid out from under me, and I skidded across the driveway. Painfully, the dirt bike rolled along a little before falling over on the grass a couple feet away. Trace! Dad and Corey cried and rushed over to me. They knelt down next to me, and my dad slowly helped me up. Trace, are you okay? He asked in concern. I nearly started laughing at him. Like you care. I snapped, pulling off my Pulling my helmet off and rubbing my arm, I examined it mentally, groaned that I had been wearing the t-shirt and now my arm was skinned. I stood up and straightened a little, not realizing I must have smacked my knee. Corey caught me and I shoved him roughly, causing him to stumble and nearly fall. My dad grabbed his arm to keep him up and glaring at me in disgust. What the hell is wrong with you, Trace? He was making sure you didn't fall, he snapped, releasing a confused look at Corey. I'm fine, I don't need help, he snapped and began to make my way towards the house. Dad grabbed my uninjured arm and spun me around to face him. He slapped me as hard as he could, and I forced myself not to cry out in pain. My dad was a hell of a strong guy. Why do you have to be a little shit to Corey, huh? What did he do to you? He's trying the hardest, and you're just treating him unfairly. Trace, he growled. I just don't like him, I snapped as Corey came over to us, still looking confused. Well, I'm sorry for whatever I did, Trace, he said, frowning. The sight of him made me furious. The feeling I had towards him were fucking with my head. I hated it. I couldn't help myself as I jumped on him and tackled him to the ground, pinning him there. Shut up, just shut up and get out of my life, he hissed. Trace, Dad cried, and I tried to pull him off Corey. I hit Corey in the face, and my dad finally managed to pull me off him. Trace, stop it, he boomed and smacked me in the face. He shoved me away viciously and helped Corey up, checking to make sure he was okay. I grounded my teeth together. My dad ruffled his hair. My dad, not his. My dad, I glared at them, and Dad, noticing that I glared right back at me. If you ever see you lay a hand on if you ever see a land on your perfect stepson, you'll kick my sorry ass and kick me out of the house. I get it, you don't have to kick me out because I'll be happy to leave on my own. I snapped and spun around. I left the driveway, ignoring my dad and Corey's shouts at me to come back. I made my way to Zeke's house and knocked on the door. Oh, Trace, what happened? His mom asked, curiously eyeing me and my arm curiously. I fell off my dirt bike, I growled, and slipped my shoes off, going up to Zeke's room. I knocked on his bedroom door. He opened it, his eyes widened at the sight of my arm, and he pulled me through his room to his bathroom, taking out the first aid kit. Okay, how come all these kids are awesome? They all have their own bath. Zeke has his own bathroom that's connected to his room. Joey Graceffa does too. How come I don't have that? I would love to have that. My own bathroom? Fuck yeah. Could do everything I want to do in there. Would it be pointless for me to ask? He asked deficiently. The wound and wrapping it tightly with medical tape. I glared down at the floor. He disinfected a wound on my face and put a band-aid on it. Also, before wrapping my hand, he put the first aid kit away and went back to his bedroom, sitting down on his bed silently. He bit his lip nervously. Trace, I know you're mad at me for dating Corey, but listen to me, Trace. I will never leave you. I promise you that. You'll always be my best friend, he said, quietly but honest. Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck, Zeke. Corey was just fucking amazing, and you and my dad can have him. I snapped, regretting the words that as they left my mouth. Zeke sighed and ran a hand through his hair. So that's it, huh? Trace, you know you're just being an ass to Corey, and your dad feels bad for him about that. Maybe if you try getting along with Corey, you see that he isn't trying to take anyone from you, he said, a slight pleading tone in his voice. I stood up and glared at him. Whatever, Zeke, I growled and left his house, not wanting to talk about this. I didn't want to try to get along with Corey. What if these feelings I was having depended if I got close to him? I made my way back home and realized that my dad hated me. I went to the woods not knowing where else to go. I wasn't welcome at home. I didn't want Juliet bitching at me about sharing my feelings. And all Zeke was trying to do was get me to be friends with Corey or whatever. I pulled my knees up to my chest and hugged them there. leaning against a tree and stare up at the sky, not knowing what to do now, and wondering why my mother couldn't have just cared about me enough to stay and raise me. These problems wouldn't be happening right now if she had just given a damn about her son. Corey's point of view. Well, I asked anxiously. Brandon sighed and shook his head helplessly. He's not in the pool house, and he's not at his girlfriend's house, and he's not at Zeke's house. He might be at the other soccer players' houses, but I doubt it. I don't know where he is, he said, quietly and dropping onto the couch. He forced a smile. I'm sure he'll turn up. He probably just went for a walk or something. Zeke said that he did stop by not too long ago. He's probably turn up home soon, he said positively. I sighed and got up. I'm going for a walk, I said and waved before leaving the house. I made my way to the woods and began to wander up the hill aimlessly, my thoughts on Trace. I just hope he was okay. I let a manly shriek as something jumped out from the bushes and tried to chop my leg off with the sharp teeth. Okay, it was just a little frog. Still, that thing was vicious. Jerk, your mother was a toad, I called after I stuck my tongue out and hopped onto another bush. Do you always yell at frogs? I let out another manly shriek and spun to face Trace. He raised an annoyance eyebrow at me, and I tried to catch my breath from the fright. Seriously? How do you ever raise an annoyance eyebrow? That wasn't even logical. Yes, I do always yell at frogs. It's good for your cholesterol, I said matter-of-factly. My eyes widened a little. Trace, I found you, I cheered, and realized I was my MIA stepbrother sitting in front of me. He rolled his eyes and shook it and stood up. Do you want a cookie or a medal? He asked sarcastically. Well, I do like cookie, but your dad was looking for you. He's worried about you, I said with a frown. An unbearable look passed through Trace's eyes, and he looked down at his feet. He was? He asked, and I nodded. Yeah, I said sincerely. Trace came over to me, standing extremely close. Well, let's go back to the house, he said, his minty breath blowing on my face and making me feel like a love-struck girl. Right, I mumbled, moved forward, tripping over a branch and stumbling forward. Trace caught me easily, but now our lips were only a few centimeters away. We looked into each other's eyes, deeply, neither of us moving. I felt warm breath, and it made me forget all about Zeke, losing myself in his eyes and the warmth of his strong arms holding me. We both moved our faces a little bit closer to each other, and our lips are about to touch when a loud truck passed the road nearby. Trace jumped away from me, and mixed emotions exploded in my eyes before I could force him up. Come on. Let's get back to my house, he said, clearing his throat, standing up without me. I began to follow him, not speaking for once. I was too lost in my thoughts and my strong feelings for my stepbrother. Author's note. So, who do you guys like more, Zeke or Trace, and why? Okay, so that's the question of this video. Who do you guys like more, Trace or Zeke? I like Zeke because I think he's hot. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for chapter 16. And until next time, gays, okay, just ask the GSA. Mwah!